conflict in northern and central Mali continues to worsen. Islamist extremism, ethnic violence and banditry are on the rise. More than 135,000 people have fled Mali to neighboring countries since 2012. There are almost 55,000 Malian refugees in Mauritania. 58% of those are children. Seen from above, Mbera is a sea of tents and sand. 55,000 refugees have traveled the 60 kilometers from the border to get here, the only camp for Malians in Mauritania. The flow of new arrivals shows no sign of stopping. Nearly two-thirds of those in the camp are children. For them, going to school is as important as food and health care.
Now, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
I'm happy because education means a lot to me. It lets me see the world differently.
Let's have a look at them. Let's have a look at them. Repeat, let's have a look at them.
Sitting in the classroom is crucial for students like Sadio. Girls in the camp face the prospect of forced marriage, while boys risk being sent off to work. On top of such dangers, many of these children have experienced considerable trauma.
I was forced to marry when I was 15 years old. The marriage failed due to the fact I had a very difficult pregnancy. After I survived that, my parents suggested I should leave for Mauritania.
Sadio, now 17, is the mother of a 2-year-old girl. She is at school thanks to the efforts of Rugi, a social worker with a local NGO financed by UNICEF. The project is funded by EU humanitarian aid.
I asked, "Did you go to school?" She told me, "Yes, I went before." I asked, "Are you married?" She said, "I'm divorced." I asked, "Do you want to go back to school?" She said, "Yes." I thought a child who has a child is also a vulnerable child herself.
Out of a total of 31,000 children, 20,000 are of school age. There are 8 primary schools like this one. The large number of children is a challenge for UNICEF and the UNHCR due to a lack of classrooms and teachers. In spite of that, over 5,500 students are receiving education.
My parents didn't go to school, so I'll be the one who studies in order to achieve something.
Some children arrived in 2012. They were traumatized by what they'd seen in northern Mali. We help to reintegrate the children into school, or if they're older than school age, we place them in literacy or training centers.
Over 4,600 students were enrolled in primary school in the first few months of this school year. The numbers are lower in secondary school, with just over 300 enrolled. The challenge here at Mbera is to keep children in the classroom until secondary school. Last year, around 50 students graduated. The EU has taken on the challenge. It includes building new schools. This will soon be a new secondary school in Mbera. The foundations are a concrete reminder of how education in emergencies is one of the best ways to invest in children's long-term future, according to the EU humanitarian aid.
Education is one of the most underfunded sectors of humanitarian aid. First comes food, shelter, health, water, and education only gets 3% of global funding. So this is why the EU has decided to support this sector, and we have managed to increase from 1 to 10% of our humanitarian budget the share of funding that we dedicate to education.
Offering such protection through education is vital both for the children's sense of normality and for their future development.